As part of my foundation course, today I'm going to be talking about formulation and texture. Now, it's as important to get the right formulation as it is the right colour, because if you were to use a foundation which was too moisturising on an oily skin or too drying on a dry skin, it doesn't matter if the colour was perfect, it's never going to look good. So the first thing you need to think about when you're thinking about formulation and texture is what type of skin you have. And this can change throughout the year, so you might need to change your formulation throughout the year as well. Whether you are very oily all over, whether you're more combination, normal to dry, normal to oily, or very, very dry. You know, there's all different sort of variations within that. And then you have to think about what kind of payoff you want, what sort of coverage and texture you want. So if you're someone that likes a very, very lightweight foundation that doesn't have much coverage, or you're somebody that prefers a medium to full coverage, then when you go to look for your foundation, you need to be thinking about, okay, say you want a light coverage, I want a light texture, but it has to be specifically for oily skin or for dry skin. So you have to really think about those things. And I can't stress this enough, because people get so hung up on the right shade, and it's got to be the perfect shade, which is extremely important, but we need to add to that your preference of the coverage, but definitely the formulation for your skin. And there's never been a better time to be shopping for foundation, because certainly since I started doing makeup, when I think of the formulations back then, you know, now we're so rich with these incredible formulations that actually do something for the skin. So whether it be micro sponges in a foundation for oily skin, and that's, you know, they sort of absorb the oil and stop the oily breakthrough, or whether it be, you know, peptides and skincare technology that's gone into a dry skin foundation to really nourish and moisturize. And, you know, it's definitely worth harnessing the latest technology to help you get the, you know, the most beautiful foundation effect you possibly can. I personally have a magnifying mirror in my bathroom. It's about this big. You can buy them in department stores. Most of them in department stores are between 3 and 5 magnifying. I've got times 10, which is a little bit hardcore, but I'm in the business, so I want to really test out my foundations. And when you get your little sample and you take it home, while you're looking at the colour and you're doing all the other tests on it, have a look at what's happening with the formulation. What does the formulation look like close up? Is it one that maybe settles into any pores that you've got or any dry patches that you've got? And, you know, how does it settle? How does it look after a while? And I think that my philosophy is, if it looks good when it's magnified, if it looks pretty good when it's magnified, it's going to look amazing to the naked eye. So really think about what that formulation is doing for your skin. And the only time I think sometimes it's really hard to find a good formulation is when you're extremely dry and extremely oily. And there are people like, you know, who are like that. And they will find that they've got, you know, dry, loose skin and sort of roughness on cheeks, but then they might be very, very oily with pores in the centre. And then I do believe that sometimes you have to buy 2 different formulations, because no amount of, you know, an oil absorbing foundation will always dry out and look very dry on dry skin, and vice versa. So if you are extremely different, I would say buy 2. It'll still last you longer, so you won't waste money, but you'll get a much better effect. So I just want to say today, really stress the importance of the right formulation and shopping around, knowing what skin type you are, knowing what kind of preference of coverage you have, and really holding out for the right formulation. It's as important as colour. So hope that was helpful, and I'll see you soon.